All right, folks, I am so sorry. Let me try this again. I won't start the song over. Share audio. What is going on?
GLOBEBUSTERS! Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Yeah! GLOBEBUSTERS! GLOBEBUSTERS! GLOBEBUSTERS!
And welcome everybody to GLOBEBUSTERS. We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
It is as simple as that, folks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of GLOBEBUSTERS Weekend Update. I'm your host, Zach. Good times for all. And man, is there so many people talking about flat Earth. It's just, I've never seen it expanding this rapidly, this quickly. It's just wild, folks. So before we get into the show, we're going to have some GLOBEBUSTER updates. I am going to be stepping away from GLOBEBUSTERS Tech and the Sunday show. No, there's no infighting or anything like that going on. I just feel like I'm kind of holding the shows back, really. My drive, my passion has really, really fallen off since Bob passed, really. It's been, going on for a while now. And I just don't think that it's right that I keep doing, something that I'm not passionate about when there's so many passionate people out there that I think could do a better job than me. So I'm still going to be doing the GLOBEBUSTERS weekend update every weekend and all that kind of good stuff. GLOBEBUSTERS Tech will continue, and the fellows are planning on coming back for the Sunday show as well at the end of their break. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't have the passion and the drive like I once did. And it's really hard, to keep going and knowing that I'm not all in like I used to be, if that makes any sense. It's just it's been really really difficult the last couple years to, and there's new things we're learning still, and that's still happening, but it's not like the heyday when there was so many questions that we didn't know the answers to and so much research to be done, you know. That's what, getting my hands dirty, getting in there and, like working the earth almost. You can read about gardening, which is the reason that the beginning of the show was so crazy. I had ran up to the store, and this young lady that Cammie and I talk to all the time about gardening, we haven't seen her in a couple weeks. And she was like, "Oh my God, I have so many questions for you. My tomatoes are doing this, my watermelon's doing that. What do I do? This and that, yada, yada, yada." So she kind of held me up a little bit longer than I wanted to. And I came running in the door to start the show. And yeah, things were not 100% set up. So I apologize for the beginning. I'll cut that out. Most people aren't even going to see that. But thank you all so much for hanging out and coming. This is yeah, it's insane how many videos are coming out, both pro and anti flat earth. The and it's so much harder. Thank you, Vern. I love you guys too. A new window will open. That's right, Sherry. Yeah, Austin's going to be coming back and starting doing shows again. He's going to get back into it a little bit more. And I get it. I mean, it got crazy and hairy, and the, community was turned upside down on its head. And yeah, he needed to take a step back and just take a breath, really. So Austin's not done. He's going to be doing stuff. I'm not sure if he's planning on coming back to GLOBEBUSTERS or not. But yeah, he's, you know, just an awesome guy. And I wish nothing but the best for Austin and his family. They've been through a lot, with all this stuff. He's got 2 little girls and a beautiful wife to worry about. So yeah, Austin needed a break for sure. But we'll see if he doesn't want to make a comeback onto the GLOBEBUSTER. He's always welcome. He knows that. Always will be. So all right, we're gonna take a look at what's been going on this week in Flat Earth. And I actually got a hold of some people. And I'll see if I can't like get a maybe an interview. I reached out and said, hey, you guys, I love the conversation. If you guys would, like to hear my 2 cents on how I think all these things you're questioning actually work, hit me up. And we got together on Discord. I believe there are more night owls. They might be out there on the West Coast. And they hit me up. It was like 9:30 at night, Thursday night. And of course, I got to get up to do the show on Friday morning by 5 a.m. So that didn't transpire. So we are gonna go, excuse me. And the first one I found 7 days ago, it was Saturday after the show. Truth and Secrets Revealed is the name of the channel. Truth, the and sign, Secrets Revealed. So let's take a look what they've been talking about. You are being lied to, UFOs, Flat Earth with a question mark. It looks like 9 days ago they did the True Cosmology of Earth Revealed. So they just started this channel 12 days ago. Beware the fake alien invasion, 9/11 predictive programming, truth about fake moon landing. So yeah, they are, it does. When you start learning this stuff and it starts becoming so obvious to you that you want to reach out and tell people this stuff, We're seeing so much of that right now. People coming out with their first, like I said, he started 9 or 11 days ago, whatever. There's so many of these channels popping up every day. It's crazy. So we'll go ahead and we'll run a couple minutes. It's a 21-minute video.
The flat Earth and the breakdown of the whole cosmos. This video is going to be about the flat Earth and the breakdown of the whole cosmology. I'm going to be digging very deep. I've got a lot of pictures and images to show you, and a lot of dots to connect. So let's start with the Freemasonry art. So this artwork we have here is the Freemasonic cosmology.
These are the tracing boards. We've covered these.
So what is it symbolizing?
The stairway in the center,
Obviously,
pillars on the side.
4 pillars representing the 4 corners.
Now usually the Masonic tracing boards only have 2 pillars. And the third will either be a staircase or a ladder or something like that, symbolizing ascension. So he's going through masonry. He gets into the how the moon landings were masons, the old maps, Mount Meru, the Taurus in everything. Very cool. But yeah, just a cool little video about electromagnetic flat Earth, hidden secrets they don't want you to know. Yeah, it's just, we're seeing so many of these going into the NASA symbolism and all the stuff they do, breaking it down. So yeah, let's give them their thumbs up, and we'll do it live. Thanks for sharing. It was a man. Remember, folks, it's so important to do this kind of stuff right here. Just hitting a thumb and leaving a comment. Talked about it just about every weekend update so far. When you get that thumbs up and you get that comment of someone just saying anything positive, it gives you it'll help give that person that drive to want to keep going and do more. It really will. So if you're out there, you're bored, you know, you got some time. Oh, let me share this in the chat so you guys don't have to go searching it. You guys got to keep on me about that. I'm horrible about remembering this stuff. Let's say hi to some people in the chat. We got Jana and Brian and Vern and Sherry. Thank you all so much. Captain Caveman's hanging out. Truth Detective, Angling Alchemy. Of course, Cammy, Aisling717. There's Liz the Iron Maiden. You guys are the best. Thank you all for coming in. Yeshua Savior, Yamoma. Yeah, I apologize about the start. I'm going to have to go in and fix that before we end there. So, okay, there, I dropped that link in the chat. Please, you guys, let's go and support some of these new people coming out and sharing truth. It's, you know what, I'll even subscribe. What, let's see. 12 videos, it doesn't say how many subscribers. Okay.
This video is going to be a
So thank you, Truth and Secrets Revealed, for sharing your thoughts, man. This is, I know it's not easy. And yeah, I hope you keep going. So here is one by The Truth, a modern translation. How many videos do they have? 70 videos. Looks like they're started about 7 months ago. Flat Earth versus Sphere Earth argument. 7 months ago. Let's see what else we got. I'm not seeing a whole lot of flat Earth stuff. Real zombies arriving, red dwarf, the double slit experiment. So they're going down their truth journey. Pyramids, Moses, and free electricity. Yeah, I'd really like to know what's going on with the pyramids. And this was 8 days ago. How is this 8 days ago if I got it last Saturday? That doesn't make sense. I don't know. We might have watched this one last week. I don't believe so, though.
I'm getting this one out with.
So, Flat, The Expanse, The Plane. The Truth, a modern translation. Thank you for sharing, friend.
Hey, I'm having a hard time getting this one out with videos. There's two of them. One of them is, so I'm just gonna have to describe it as an audio. So the first one is those pictures that I put up of the flat Earth, where it looks like a compact disc, where it's completely flat and there's a hole in the middle. I put up two of them, didn't I? And then an enlarged picture at the bottom, upside down, of what the hole looked like. It looked like I had some sort of framework going into the middle of it at one point. But anyway, it looks very strange. The interesting thing about those pictures are, I got them, they're screenshots from a video on YouTube that was taken from TikTok. These guys that talk, and they talk about conspiracies and stuff, and they show pictures and stuff of what they have on it. And these were two pictures this guy showed, and he said the one that was in colour, that was took by Google in the 1960s apparently, and then the other one before that was taken by NASA in the 1940s or something. This is what he
said. Interesting. Yeah, we're going to be, and as you know, now none of these are really, you know, they're coming from NASA and places like that. So I put zero credence into anything that I'm shown from them. I'll take it as an idea, a possibility, but I'll never just believe something that is handed to me in a picture like that. Especially with AI nowadays, it's getting crazy scary, all the videos we're seeing of the stuff in the sky. Now, I know AI can do all this stuff. It's pretty amazing what it can do. But if any of these videos have any validity to them, like, I would say things are getting biblical. Like the stuff, if you just type in strange and crazy videos, there's people that do it every single day. They'll put out a new video. There's a couple people I watch just for the strange phenomena in the sky that they share. And it is just ridiculous. Let's everybody go over and sub to Captain Caveman's channel. He's having trouble getting the videos out. I get it, man. Yeah. Since 2017. You know what? I learned today. I saw on I was in David Banner's show watching, and he's sharing videos from just this last week. Now I search flat earth usually morning, midday, and then right before I go to bed. Flat earth today, within the last 24 hours. He's showing videos that never come across my searches. Don't see these people that I'm subscribed to that don't show up in my subscriptions, don't show up when I search them. It is crazy. I apologize to all the people I've been subscribed to that, you know, I'm just not seeing your videos. I can't even search your videos. It's just crazy. Let's see. We're going to bring up Captain Caveman channel. Wow, there's a lot of Captain Caveman channels out there. So here we go. Let's see if he even pops up. That's him right there. 493 subscribers, 654 videos. Come on, folks. Two weeks ago, yeah, I didn't see this one. I'm telling you, all these videos that people are putting, and I know I was subscribed to Captain Caveman at one time. And yeah, I've been unsubscribed from so many channels. It's just ridiculous. So there you go, Captain. We're going to try and get you some more subscribers. And yeah, I'll keep an eye out for your videos and stuff, man. But it's just crazy. The interview with Reformed Truther Ministries about the flat earth. Predestined Alexei Kukulin. I hope I didn't share that last video. I didn't drop it in. You guys got to keep on me. I'm horrible about this. So there we go. Dropped it in chat. Let's take a look at the channel real quick. Definitely not their first flat earth video. Trips to Turkey. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training. So not just a flat earth channel. But definitely doesn't, you know, they've had a couple things about flat earth. I saw up in there right here, flat earth, flat earth, flat earth. So what do you have? 2 years ago, 6 days ago, 10 months ago, and 3 years ago. So they don't make a lot of flat earth videos. But they've known about it for a while. So let's give it a listen here. I love the Bigfoot, Yeti, whatever you want to call it.
This is a topic that has garnered no shortage of controversy in evangelicalism, but it's an important topic, and we're going to try to show what the scriptures teach about cosmology today. But before we get into that, Lexi, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and some of those things along those lines.
So I was born in 1986 in Russia, Severodvinsk. Then I moved to America in year 2000, and in 2006, God opened my eyes to the truth of the gospel. I was born again, and then I started studying the Bible. Else, I've been in United States Army in active duty from 2010 till 2014, and then 2 years in reserves. And
Military
now we
man.
have this conversation about flat Earth.
So how did you? We're gonna, for the audience, we're actually gonna go through a presentation today, and we're
Yes.
going to really show everybody all of the proofs for it. But maybe before we even get into that, why don't you tell us, how did you come into flat Earth? How did you kind of discover that and come to believe in that?
Well, after active duty, I started watching and listening different conspiracy theories and stuff. And one time I saw Eddie Bravo talking about flat Earth, and
Love
he
Eddie
mentioned
Bravo.
to watch like Eric DeBase.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to check that out, I will drop this link. Oh, I dropped the link in chat. You know what? I'm going to do it again. We'll just do it live. There we go. So again, that was the predestined Alexei Kokulin. I apologize if but yeah, having to do the interview with Reformed Truther Ministries about the flat Earth. We're gonna. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Much appreciated. Remember, folks, this stuff it helps. It really does. And we'll give them the thumb. All right, here's one. Doctor lies about AI saying Earth is flat. DM's Tech and Freedom channel. So I highly doubt that this is a flat Earth channel. Trump, crazy store meltdown, DNA shock test. Yeah, see, I still don't know about DNA. We're finding all kinds of stuff. It seems like they cover all kinds of stuff. Put multiple videos out daily. Not seeing a whole lot of flat Earth, really. For you, liberal clueless women's meltdown and return GTA 6 secrets you missed. So this guy covers all kinds of stuff. DM's Tech and Freedom channel. And shared a video about AI lying to flat Earth. Copy. Paste. There we go. And I apologize. Oh, geez. Sorry, folks over there on Rockfin. On Rockfin, there are secrets you missed. So this guy covers all kinds. They're not letting me do free anymore on Rockfin. There was no option to make it free on Rockfin. There's usually, when you go to set it up and everything, you pick, your what it's about, like-minded, open-minded, blah, 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 stuff like that, sports, this, that. So ours is open mind. And underneath that, there used to be a thing about, like, was it free? Is it premium? Or yada, yada, yada. And now that is gone. So if you are usually a Rockfin watcher that watches it free, I apologize. Yeah, Truman, Rockfin is really not doing all that great, we'll say. So let's listen to this guy talk about AI, about the shape of the Earth. Now he's saying doctor lies about AI saying Earth is flat. So we'll see what this doctor has to say.
Calculate the shape of the Earth based on all the data that is on the internet.
After all the calculations based on 83,917 scientific publications and calculations by physicists, I calculated the answer. Conclusion: the probability of the flat Earth model is 99.6%. Here are the main points. 1. The horizon is consistently flat at all available altitudes up to 35 kilometers. No curvature was detected, even when analyzing taking into account lenses and optical distortions. 2. All public photos from space contain traces of digital generation, post-processing, inserts, layers, not individually, but systematically. 3. Light and temperature patterns from the sun do not correspond to the globe model. The real nature of the lighting indicates a local source. 4. The pilots do not make compensating maneuvers during long flights. The geometry of the trajectories corresponds to the plane model. 5. International flights through the southern hemisphere are illogical and excessive in distance. On a flat map, they are straight. 6. Gravity as a concept did not pass the simulation. The fall of objects is explained by density and environment. Attraction was not recorded. 7. Objects at a distance of 50, 100 kilometers should be hidden beyond the horizon by more than 500 meters. However, they are recorded visually regularly. Conclusion. The spherical model of the Earth is a cultural construct, not a result of logic. Vefafisictum recommends revise basic physical axioms, disable trust, observe with your own eyes.
Okay. I don't know if that's, I don't see anything on the C.
Model is 90.
I'm a skeptic, folks. So I don't know if this is an actual AI or if this is just a recording that someone typed out. I don't see anything on here except for this little voice bar moving. Nothing. Now, I don't play with all the AIs. So the sound is a bit low, huh? Now, is my voice low or just the videos? Because everything here is up. I can maybe turn myself up a little bit. Let me see. Check, 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 check. So yeah, I don't know if this was AI or not. I'm not really sure. Every time, well, I've only talked to AI once on my own, and then we did it live with Ironworks, and it never said to us that the Earth was flat. I didn't really ask it about flat Earth. I was just asking it about, does it know how much humans lie, and does it, does it actually believe what it's being told? So sending some love to the flat Earth community. Live Saturday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Give him the thumbs. Gordon Causey. So let's take a look. How many people can the Earth sustain long term? We hold these truths to be self-evident. This is the stuff YouTube thinks I would be interested in. Let's see if there's any other flat Earth stuff. I'm not seeing Trump, Canada. Okay, he's been pretty active. Started 1 year ago, and then looks like they got quiet for a little while, and then 3 months ago started up, and then, yeah, 2 months ago really took off. But yeah, made their, what looks like his first flat Earth video. So thank you, Gordon Causey. Let me drop the link in chat here.
Greetings and welcome to my latest live stream. Gordon Causey, as it always is, and as is often the case, Candy the Wonder Pup, who doesn't want affection, doesn't want to be pet, she just wants what's in my hand, as you can tell. So before I can get really rolling, let's take care of Candy. Shake me. You're welcome to like, you're welcome to share. The jab could be construed, I envisioned it being potentially construed as refusing a lawful order, which could lead to something like a court martial. And so I decided to put in my voluntary release. I asked to be released from military service in December.
So here's another person released from military service because of not getting the jab.
December of 2020, basically immediately after the jabs were authorized. And this is going to play into things with respect when I talk about flat Earth, because the consensus view in December of 2020, January, February, March 2021 is that the jabs were going to save the world, and that anyone who didn't get it, they were often said, oh, I bet you're a member of the Flat Earth Society too, because you were bucking conventional wisdom. And one thing I found out in getting pretty much waist deep into the anti-COVID community, for lack of a better word, for lack of a better expression, is that I encountered for the first time a number of people who do not ascribe to what I guess is the heliocentric model of the universe. There are two models, as far as I can tell. Well, that, Gordon? Well, someone told me.
See. So now he's
That is
going
to
on
say,
about
I haven't done any research on it. I've done no investigation. I've just accepted what has been handed to me by authoritative figures, by the educational system. Here's what they told me. Okay.
Seems like a pretty down to earth guy. I mean, really, just by listening to him talk.
Why you're able to look out over the water and still see the shoreline when it's supposed to be 6.5 feet below the.
So yeah, this is something he's definitely been looking into for a while, it seems. He's done some research, and it's almost 2 hours long. It's a pretty good chat he has here. I listened to it the other day while I was doing some yard work.
There. Mine doesn't have a sticker.
Oh, he's looking for the not made for educational purposes. The sticker you'll find on the bottom of a lot of globes at the store. So again, that was Gordon Causey. Didn't see any other flat earth videos out there, but thank you. Oh, we already gave him from Good Times for All. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Much appreciated. It helps, folks. It does. It really does. Well, these are the gentlemen that I actually am going to converse with, that are having some, they're just hearing about this. And man, I don't want to say jealous, right? But back in the day, 2015, 2016, I could not stop researching and doing tests, and there was just a fire underneath me about all the things that I was learning about. I mean, I know, I've told this story before, but George Bush Sr., he got caught in a lie, right? And I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. I was young. And I asked my mom, so who's going to be president now that, the president was caught lying? And she just started, giggling and laughing. And she's like, oh, honey, they all lie. So from a very young age, I learned about, deception on like a grand scale. I had that like embedded into me at that moment. I still remember that moment like it was yesterday. It was very profound to me that my mom said that. It was just like, it blew my whole world wide open. So I started questioning things a lot more at a young age. I did my high school senior thesis on the assassination of JFK not being what we were told. But flat earth and learning about the shape of the earth really, back in the day, just lit a fire under me like no other. I'm looking for that topic again. I want to be real passionate about learning something again. I enjoy teaching. For those that want to learn, but I don't have that passion like I did back in 2016, 2017, 2015. Just that I want to do this test, and there's still stuff I want to do. I want to make a star in a jar. There's all kinds of stuff I'd like to do and play around with and mess with. Maybe we'll be doing some lives, some GLOBEBUSTER Tinker streams, where I'll just get out the toys and we can play with the Chladni plates and the Rubens tubes and all that kind of stuff. I feel like we really haven't touched into that enough yet. But yeah, sorry. So, is Earth rotating? We're so confused. Mind-blowing theories. This is DSTV 103. Now, this is crazy, folks, because, or no, Good Times for All is subscribed to him. That's right. We'll subscribe here too and hit a thumbs up. Yeah, I did it on this one. But as you can see, we had a little back and forth here. Yeah. So we're gonna get together on Discord and have a chat. I think they might be night owls or out on the West Coast. They just got a hold of me a little too late Thursday night. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. But yeah, these conversations are happening everywhere right now.
Like, how do we know if the Earth rotates? That's what I'm saying. I'm going on base. Listen, well, I'm going on basically what they are saying. Like, you're right. How do we know it does rotate? But I know I do see the clouds moving. But like somebody else said, that's why I don't know what's true, because both parts have a point. Both parts have people that believe that the world is round. When they be talking to me, I'm like, yo, you're right. But then people that believe the world is flat, when they talk to me, I'm like, you got a point there. Like, it's like I don't fully know which one it is, because it's like how like, you know, so some people feel like the way I feel like something is moving. Either the Earth is rotating, that's why the clouds is moving, or the Earth is flat and the clouds is moving on its own. If you get what I'm saying, like I don't know which one it is, but I got my theories on the clouds. Based on the rotational part, when it's rotating, this based on how I feel. Correct me if anybody got the answer. I got the answer, then correct me.
So they're having the conversation, right? Just learning about it and put out a video about it. And I think they put out a couple more since then, actually. So let's see. Yeah, Israel rotating. They just re-uploaded that one. So they just re-uploaded the one that they had. But yeah, that I'm pretty sure I already looked through all this. That was the first flat Earth video that they ever put out. They started their channel years ago. Just talking about all kinds of different stuff. But are talking about the flat Earth now. We'll see what comes of it. Thank you, gentlemen, for having the conversation. It takes a lot of nerve to put flat Earth, you know, is the Earth rotating? You know, something we've all been taught to be 100% proof, right? Just putting that out there and asking the question I got to give you props for it. So here is Wits It, Gets It. Back at it, folks. He had the one 3 weeks ago, and then Breaking the Silence streamed 6 days ago. And for 2.5 hours, answering all kinds of questions. He's got the vape in his mouth there. It was a good one.
Globe, or that they know it's a globe.
Looking good. Looking healthy. Bright-eyed. Yeah. So it was a good chat. And then he had an open panel and let people come on and ask all kinds of questions. There's even Brenda was allowed to come on, you know. He's got the patience of a saint. He just does. So yeah, it's great to see Austin back at it. I will drop this. It was a good chat. Yeah. Okay, let me check out the chat here for a sec. Okay. Just making sure I'm dropping them in there. So yeah, go check that out. 2.5 hours if you got something to do. He was on point this one. So it's great to see you back at it, Austin. Glad you're looking good, brother. Memorial Day, we will remember. Does the Bible say the earth is flat? North Haven General Baptist Church. Seeing a lot of these, seeing a lot of anti-flat earth religious stuff being put out. I actually saw this guy. It was like over 4,000 views in the first few hours of him. You know, he must have a big channel. And he started off by saying, you can make scripture say whatever you want if you hear it the way you want to hear it, right? Talking about how you can't change what is said to fit your narrative and this and that. And I skipped ahead of forward a little bit, and he's going on talking about the four corners of the earth. And what was really meant is the four quarters of the earth. It's like, wait a minute, didn't you just say you can't take words and switch them around to fit how you want to see it? Like, you just said that, and then now you're doing. So yes, I get it. This is very hard for people to let go of something that you've been indoctrinated with your whole life, right? It's Plato's cave. If you've never seen the outside world outside the cave, a group of people, and they let one of them out of the cave to go look at the world around them and see light and all this stuff and 3D objects, not just a 2D shadow on the wall, their that changes everything in their world. They've been shown this whole new world outside of everything they've been taught and believed. And when they went back to the people in the cave, they put them back in the cave along with the other group of people. None of them believed them and ostracized him and cast him out. So yes, this is a very hard thing to overcome, the brainwashing that we've all went through our whole lives, right? Forever, since you were a little child. The books you read, the shows you watched, there's always a globe somewhere, always. So breaking through that is not easy, and some people have a lot harder time with it. They just do. But these people, not so much. Let's see. We'll skip 5 minutes ahead.
Focus team, which we'll be getting together soon and starting getting all that stuff.
Oh no,
lined up, laid
I
out,
believe
and all
this
that
was
stuff.
anti-flat Earth, actually.
Gravity exists. I know that water is heavy. How do I know that? I've picked up gallons of water of what the Bible does or does not say. We're also causing distractions from God's witness, from our own witness about it. It says it hangs
Yeah,
on
if you want to
nothing.
see,
It says nothing but truth.
if you want to see somebody trying to, comments are turned off. Yeah, having a real hard time with it. This is one of those pastors that is so ingrained in the heliocentric model that, they bend and shape and twist what the Bible is actually saying. Or don't take the preponderance of evidence of all the different things that would be impossible on a sphere that happen in the Bible and say, well, this is what they actually meant. See a lot of that. So yeah, we're getting a lot of, like I said, a lot of both, a lot of pro and a lot of anti in the religious circles right now, in all the different religions. It's not just, Christianity or no, every religion is going through this right now. Yeah, I remembered putting that one in there because I wanted to make sure I had pointed out about the anti-flat Earth movement that it's just taken off. It's just like the pro, when there's more and more people waking up, they're going to be having conversations now with more and more people. So we're going to get both of them going up, right? The anti and the pro. It's funny when you search, no matter when they released it or whatnot, even the ones that have less views, because the troll videos, they don't all get crazy views. Oh, excuse me. But when you'll have one that has like 800 views and it's been out for 16 hours. And then there's a video that's been out for 3 hours that might be like a kind of pro flat earth and has 5,000 views. But that one will be 5 pages down searching through the YouTube algorithm, and that troll video will always be right up there at the top. Always. Yeah, it's crazy. This one, he's still out there. I love him. Eddie Bravo breaks down the flat earth theory. Jake Shields Fight Back podcast. Let me make sure I drop this into the chat for y'all. And I'm going to go ahead and play this one. I've got almost 60,000 subscribers. So we'll just play a few minutes of it. I don't want to play the whole thing, you guys. I dropped the link in the chat. Thank you, Jake, Mr. Shields, for having Eddie on. Now, this guy's a fighter. Okay. If you're one of those people, you know, who doesn't mind getting into a scrape every once in a while or this and that, you know, isn't willing or isn't too against going fisticuffs, right? This right here, do you see this gentleman's ear? That is a huge warning not to mess with this person. I don't care how skinny they are. I don't care. When you see somebody with an ear like that, that's cauliflower ear. You don't met these people are fighters. This is what they do. Like, they love it. They love fighting. You do not want to mess with somebody who has an ear like that. That's no bueno, for real. So that's, I just saw the picture. I didn't even see this earlier, but I was paused right here. I was like, whoa, dude, this guy, he fights. Like, he's a fighter. Yeah. All right. So again, thank you, Jake, for letting Eddie come on and talk about this. He's passionate about it. You can tell. He loves it. Yeah, Truman. Danger, danger. Exactly. Those guys with cauliflower ear, no joke.
You're a flat earther, and if so, what's
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's like a basic quick theory on that?
Man, I can go on for hours with that, but I mean,
We don't want to do that.
You know,
let's do a 5-minute breakdown.
I never would imagine that we live on some I think we live in a lake. We're not a flat disc floating in space. People think that's what flat earthers think, that we're a flat disc floating in space and all the planets around, but we're a flat disc. That's not what we believe. Nobody believes that. We believe that all the information that we got from NASA regarding space is fake. That information's fake. We're not floating in space. We're on some solid thing that's not moving. And we're like in a lake. We're in a machine. And the machine is the stars, the sun, and the moon. They say that the sun is 93 million miles away. It's not 93 fucking million miles away. You think that fucking thing that's right there is 93? It's pretty fucking close. Everything's local. Everything's close. They want you to think everything's 100 light years away and all that shit. 93, think about how far 93 million miles would be. And you think that's the sun that's just right there. It's like, I don't know. It looks like 3,000 miles, maybe. You know what I mean?
No,
It doesn't look that far.
look that way, but
it doesn't look that far. It's right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 93 million miles away. You know how fucking far that is?
I have several issues with this. One is, if what you're saying is true, that means just freaking everything we've been taught to lie. And that's kind of a scary...
most history, in my opinion, is a lie.
I think
we're in a clock. Think about the sun. The sun regulates the day. The moon regulates the month. So it takes 28 days for the moon to go through a cycle, and then it loops. It goes back and does a cycle. Our calendars used to be 13 months, not 12 months. Think about October. What does oct mean? That means 8. Why is it the 10th month? They got us all mixed up. December, DEC, DEC. That's 10.
Yeah, here.
Why is it 12? Why is it 12? Right? So it used to, if you go 13 months and each month is 28 days based on the moon cycles, that's a year. And then you have one extra day every year, one extra day. And that's the Ides of.
Yeah. Eddie's a great ambassador of Flat Earth. You know, he's very passionate about it, and he's not scared to just come out and talk about it and say, yeah, all the stuff we've been taught is a lie. So big shout out to Eddie Bravo. Thanks, man, for still being out there doing it. I'll drop this in the chat one more time in case you missed it the first time it came around. And yeah, thank you, Jake Shields, for having Eddie on. If you're into the, let's see, podcast, playlist, videos. Yeah, it's all about fighting, you know, and the fighting world. It looks like it's, I don't know, maybe UFC guys mostly. Former Hell's Angel Sergeant at Arms. Wow. So he has all kinds of people on it, looks like. Very active, 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, 13, 2 weeks. Yeah, very active. 6, 5, 4, 3, sometimes a couple videos a day. Yeah, super active. Yeah, thank
Theory
you,
on that.
Jake,
Is it true you're
for letting Eddie come on and talk about that. Or you bringing it up yourself. You asked him. So that's awesome. All right, this was somebody in Asmon Gold chat. Bringing up flat earth and getting a response. If you guys don't know who Asmon Gold is, huge channel, just a huge channel. But yeah, I'll give this guy a thumbs up. Justin Castro. Let's see, 43 videos. Earth having a seizure during SpaceX live feed. Yeah, he put out 2 of these 3 days ago. Doesn't look like a flat earth channel at all, really. All kinds of stuff he talks about. Covers all kinds of things. Biking. Looks like point of view. Half pipe stuff. Video games. Yeah, started, 14 years ago. Started off showing videos of his spider feeding. Yeah, Justin Castro. I'm taking it that has Trudeau's picture there. So most likely a Canadian. But yeah,
I got on the hot spot on Asmon's chat right there. You guys ready for this?
These people sitting there watching my stream, they're watching my stream at their stream? Maybe, yeah. When the angle in space was just right, the horizon was flat. This just proves in my mind that they use fisheye lenses, but at the right angle.
Yeah, that's Asmon Gold. Huge channel. It's just crazy. Mostly video games he covers.
Oh man, I was
I know
so
he's a
stressing
video
at this
gamer
point, man. I'm like,
himself.
oh shit.
But yeah, he's just talking about, getting mentioned on his channel and having him read his thing.
Oh wow. Jesus. Man, who is this guy?
It's me, man, and I felt so fucking honored.
He puts
oh
in
man.
flat earth stuff.
We're in space. Turn it off.
Yeah, turn it off, man.
That's awesome. Thank you, Justin Castro, for sharing that. Good stuff, man. Like I said, people that don't ever talk about flat earth and their stuff are putting out their first flat earth videos. It's exploding. If Jesus is God, why didn't he say the earth's a sphere? VR timelines. Looks like they mostly do shorts. 40 videos. One that's an actual video. India-Pakistan tensions of 2025, a month ago. So definitely not a flat earth channel. But they're starting to question stuff, right? They've heard about it. They're questioning the sphere. Why didn't he say the Earth's a sphere? Right?
All right, here's a serious question for Christians. If Jesus is God, the divine creator in human form, wouldn't he know the Earth is a sphere? Yet the Bible describes the Earth like it's flat. 4 corners of the Earth set on foundations. A firmament holding back waters above. That's not just poetic. It reflects an ancient flat Earth worldview. So why didn't Jesus or any prophet correct it? If he knew the truth, wouldn't he share it? And here's the kicker. In 1600, Giordano Bruno was burned alive by church authorities for saying Earth was a sphere and that the universe is infinite. He wasn't just challenging science, he was challenging biblical assumptions. So again, if Jesus is divine, why repeat ancient beliefs that modern science disproved? Not attacking, just asking. Is the Bible divine revelation or ancient perspective?
Asking the question. Just asking the question. So thank you, VR Timelines. We'll put in a thanks for sharing. All right. I'm pretty sure there's a song coming up here somewhere. Yeah, there was a bunch this week, folks. It was weird because at first, like Sunday, I didn't get that many. Monday, might have been only a couple. And then it really finally, I don't know, it was like, I don't know, maybe people took a break or something. It was weird. I wasn't getting as many as I usually get. The earth is flat. It's you're round. Defecator reaction. So the world with D. Somebody getting arrested. Josephine Baker, the electronic games. Does not look like a flat earth channel, right? French gamers. Puts out a lot of videos. This was all in the last couple days. Wow. Rodney Dangerfield. I'm not seeing any more type of flat earth stuff at all. Dang, they put out a lot of videos. So this might have been their first flat earth video. I don't know. The world with D. So we'll turn this up. We will drop the link in the chat. So thank you, the world with D. 310 thumbs up. Oh, I can do this while it's playing.
What is up, family? We have another Patreon request. We got the earth is flat. It's you that's round. Okay. The defecator. Oh, maybe he's got problems with his stomach. I don't know. Anyway, the earth is flat. But tout le monde said the earth is flat. This is nothing new. Everybody knows that. Who doesn't know that? Anyway, I don't know. Well, let's talk about why the earth is flat. It's obvious. If you put a level, you know what a level is? If you put a level down on the ground, it's perfect. It's level. So there you go. The earth is flat. Duh. Oh, God, everybody knows that.
I don't know about all that.
Hey, défécateur, on défèque sur les réactions entre des particules qu'il est incapable de voir. Il regardait sur son smartphone des vidéos.
French, okay.
Donc ici, si je prends mon petit bonhomme, que je le mets en Amérique du Sud par exemple, ici il est dans l'ombre, ici, hop, il fait jour, parce que le soleil est juste au-dessus. C'est pas du tout à l'échelle, hein. Je vais vous montrer, voilà. C'est comme le fait qu'elle scintille, c'est dû à l'atmosphère terrestre. Mais admettons.
Way after he died. Oh, anyway.
So I don't see a whole lot of videos
ça va changer
coming out of France. I don't know why.
Bah voilà, ça c'est une simple expérience, ça c'est un truc mais vraiment con à faire, hein, que vous pouvez refaire vous-même.
En tout cas, ce qui est sûr, pour les saint Thomas qui ont besoin de voir pour y croire, c'est que des preuves que la Terre est ronde, il y en a partout. Et ça, on les verra dans le second volet, parce que oui, il va y avoir un...
So yeah, not sure if this guy is pro or anti, you know, but the earth is flat, it's you're round, defecator reaction, they're having the conversation. Okay. So let's see, the Biblical Flat Earth 3. Flat Earther Anti-Vaxxer. Biggest lie ever told. 4 months ago. Mickelson Morley, NASA CGI World 1 year ago. David Murphy 3 years ago. 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 8 months ago. So this is definitely not their first flat Earth video. Oop. Definitely not. The name kind of tell you that. And he goes through a bunch of all the different Psalms and just all the different verses. When Satan took Jesus up on the mountain, the world also shall be stable, that it not be moved. Always talks about the sun and the stars and the luminaries moving. Commandeth the sun, and it riseth not. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of these. A lot of these coming out. People, just the biblical aspect of it. You know, no physics, no this or that. There are a lot of people out there that aren't interested in physics at all, right? They're not interested in any of that. But they do take what the Bible says literally. There are a lot of these people out there. And I remember, you know, somewhat kind of reading the beginning of the Bible when I was young, when it talks about, you know, the firmament and the waters above and things like that. And I didn't, it was just Genesis. And then I started learning in school about what, you know, the world was. And it was like, wait a minute. So what's right and what's wrong? Because they're not the same. They're actually like totally different. Space says it has nothing up there, and the Bible says that there's water up there. So who's telling the truth and which one is not telling me the truth? I remember struggling with this, and at about the age 14, I decided that, you know, evolution was real, the globe was real, and maybe, you know, God is off somewhere else creating another place out in the heavens, like out in the universe, right? It really separated me from creation and this place. And yeah, it took years and years and years knowing I'm being lied to. I remember still hearing about flat earth the first time. I thought, wow, these people are all crazy. So the great dictator learns it's flat, y'all. And I'm not going to play this one. It's got a really famous song in it, but it pretty much just has Hitler dancing around with the globe. What is supposed to be Hitler? I noticed they didn't use the actual SS sign or the Nazi sign at all. You know, it's two diagonal like crosses or two X's, but it's just him floating the world around, and then it pops in his hand. And he's like, what? Oh no, the earth is flat. So artistic piece. It's flat, y'all. That was Stuffed Beagle. 6,034K subscribers, 921 videos. Alternative history of the mud flood, John Levy, how the Beagle stole Thanksgiving, why meltology. These were years ago. U.S. patent. They kill you in a nutshell during the Depression era. Okay. So it's been at it for a while. 921 videos. That's a lot. Stuffed Beagle. So I will drop that link in the chat. Okay. Here is a video that was done. Neon Conspiracies. Sound of Truth Mix. This is the ice wall. CERN drop, tick boom. They did the ice wall 3 days ago. Bohemian Grove, they have one on. The firmament 4 days ago. See, I didn't even see this one. Waters, a lie. What happened to Flight 370? Nobody inside. Challenger. So they started just 2 weeks ago. First video was Flat Earth, question everything. I don't think I showed this one. Blue Origin fake. Yeah, these are all songs. Fake moon landing. Now I've been doing this show for, I would have seen this. I should have seen this. Like I said, I search Flat Earth the last 24 hours, at least 3 times a day. 12-hour difference between the first and last time I do it. So I should be seeing a lot of these videos. Anything this one, Flat Earth. It says Flat Earth the very first thing. I should have seen this. I've never seen this before. Fake bones, blue don't burn. They took the bells. Helen Keller, pyramid star power. So yeah, it's all music. Neon conspiracies. They've got 35 videos. So we're gonna let this play out. I'll drop the link in the chat for y'all. We will turn on the closed captions.
You're not supposed to see this. You're not supposed to see this. No passport. No.
Snow so high, it ends the map. They say don't go, I win.
Ice wall treated. Ice wall treated. Ice wall treated. Ice wall treated. Wall, 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 wall treated. Crowd. Cold edge, flat line, white noise, black sky. No flights cross it, no maps show it. Every globe won't show where snow is. Treaty signed, locked since war. Nobody owns it, they just guard the door. Frozen, fraud, tree. Oh God, down, 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 down. Real, golf rock. Operation High Jump, didn't jump high enough. They found a barrier, they hit the bluff. They told us ice, they meant steel. No satellites, no real feel. Ice, wall, no cap, no stars, no maps. The world's flat, box the dome. You need the edge, you're not alone. Let's start, no cap, start. The world's flat, box the dome. You need the edge, you're not alone. Whoa, treat it, drop.
All right. Yeah, it looked like they've been going wild with all kinds of stuff. Thanks for sharing. Much appreciated. All right. And that was wild because there was some of those I should have seen. Definitely. Of this, like I said, there's people I'm subscribed to that I don't get their videos. And as you can see, it's not just, channels that have so many subscribers or this and that. It's weird how the algorithm decides to not show you certain videos. I don't get it. So now I've been seeing these videos pop up saying that people are walking from India and crossing the border from Mexico into the United States by walking there. Now I could see coming up here and, waiting for the Bering Strait to freeze over and cross that. They say it can be done. And then walking from Canada, I mean, that's a long, real long walk. And walking through here in the winter, yeah, have fun with that. But okay, people lie, folks. They do. And I've seen a lot of these videos, and everybody is just taking the word of these two people that claim they came from India and did not fly anywhere. They say there was no flight. We just walked the whole way. And they're crossing from Mexico into the United States from India. People lie. Okay? I don't know. I find it hard to believe that they could, somehow get to South America or Central America here without crossing water somehow. Like large, vast amounts of water. I don't think that Africa and South America can be touching each other. And there's all kinds of people putting videos out saying that the United States and Asia, Europe here, are all one continent and they just have it divided up. So I don't know, man. We're going to be seeing more stuff like this as it goes on. All right. There's more and more people coming out. And it's just going to get crazier and crazier, right? We've heard all kinds of crazy. I've had all kinds of crazy ideas back in the day. And then I learned I was wrong. And I quit saying it. Hey, big shout out to David Banner. Welcome, man. Great show earlier. But yeah, so take it easy on these people, all right? When you discover that you've been lied to on such a grand scale, it's real easy to let your mind go deep down a rabbit hole without really critically thinking about it. You're just assuming that everything we've been told is lies. And there's some things that we can go test and check ourselves, right? I mean, people fly from here out this way, into the oceans to go places. It's more like up this way, but we see the edge, right? We see the edge of the water and everything. How this area right here and this area right here could be the same place, just separated. It's just really hard for me to grasp this idea. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're onto something. I don't see it at all. But yeah, I just put this one out to bring it up that yeah, walking from India to Mexico does not prove a flat earth, and I don't think it's possible. But here you go.
Oh, I keep seeing that video of the two men from India that are walking across the US-Mexico border that supposedly said they walked all the way from India and didn't take any flights. I don't know if there's any other flat earth maps, but I know this is the traditional flat earth map that they use. So, I mean, tell me how that makes sense. Like, I have no problem with the flat earth theory. I don't believe it. I think it's good to think outside of the box, but is there another map I should be looking at? Because tell me how that would make sense. You know, they're saying it as if it's some sort of smoking gun. Like, these two men walk from India all the way to the US border. How does that prove the earth is flat? I don't get it. Am I looking at the wrong map?
Say, okay, that guy was not a flat earther, and he's like, see, when we see crazy stuff like this, we gotta call it out. Because there will be people out there saying, well, this proves that the earth is flat. And it's like, what? What are you talking about? Because some people left here claim to have walked, right? Just claim to walk and ended up here. And that somehow is going to prove that the earth is flat in any way? No. Not even the idea that it's possible or not. But even if the land was all connected, right? Walking from here to here doesn't prove one thing one way or another. Yes, Dr. Bass, silly. Silly, silly, silly. And we've all seen this kind of stuff throughout the years. It's nothing new, but don't run with stuff like this, people. And let people know, you know, this is not what flat earthers believe. But like I said, as it's coming out more and more, and we have all these new people, it's going to keep happening. It's just, yeah. All right. I am 100% telling you Earth is flat. There's Casey. He's been doing this for a while, but this is someone sharing some of this stuff. McDog Archangel of Ulster of El Rey. So let's go see what McDog. Are you the man or woman or slave? 5G, always facts, law of land. There's a truth will always be the truth. It doesn't change and it sets you free. I like that. But yeah, a lot of these, if it doesn't have flat earth in the title and there's not like a tag about flat earth, they're probably not going to come up on my, like I didn't even see this one. You just slide flat or ball. Didn't see that one. Looks like it's about the Georgia Guidestones. So they started, let's see, 106 videos. 4 years ago, they did a few that year, couple 3 years ago, all about visiting their doctor. And then 2 years ago, they did a little bit, and then they took a break, it looks like. And then 11 days ago, they started again. COVID is a flu. The jab is genocide. Wake up. So they are going through their, you know, their truth awakening. Yeah, these are just dates. I don't see any type. This is your destiny controlled or live under constant control in sickness and unalived. So yeah, I know a lot of people are just getting their channels back. So 8 days ago, it looks like, here's a flat Earth video. You decide flat or ball a few days ago. So most of their videos are all within the last 11 days. They've had an awakening, so to say, right? It went from a couple videos 2 years ago, a couple videos from 3 years ago, 5 videos from 4 years ago. So not a whole lot of, and then the last 11 days they've done all this. So something lit a fire under McDog, Archangel of Ulster El Rey. So and it's just a quick one. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of this now, folks. A lot of this happening. We'll drop in, we'll just do it live. It only takes a few seconds to do it. I will drop the link in the chat for y'all. And I believe this young man does most of his stuff over on TikTok, if I'm not misunderstood. Yeah, there we go, TikTok. Casey Industry 2. So let's see. Oh, just a quick 5-second video. Make sure we have it unmuted.
Not really telling me that you think that all of the secrets of old world.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So they got some video editing to work out. But yeah, I saw this right here and then saw Casey, and I didn't even watch that one. I'm telling you the earth is flat. Oh man. But it's in the top here. So okay, let's see. Flat Earth and the 24-hour Antarctic Sun. Where's Your Model by Shane St. Pierre. Oh, I'm on GLOBEBUSTERS, that's why. Oh my goodness, Flat Earth math. That guy's been trolling since 2015, folks. Could you imagine that? Bye, Bob. What are you doing, dude? Why are you even here? Go get a life. It's pathetic. It really is, man. Just sad. So yeah, Shane, if you guys don't know, this was a great 2-hour presentation. Digs deep into the physics. Has put together some great visuals and stuff like that. I can't wait till they start GLOBEBUSTERS back up. These presentations are just amazing. Shane and Alan, they're like up here, really. They're beyond me when it comes to intellect. Just super sharp, super focused on their research and stuff. But yeah, Shane St. Pierre, if you guys aren't subscribed, go over there and subscribe to Shane. Let's get him some more subscribers. These guys are really putting in the work. Really putting in the work. So we'll just let it play for a couple minutes and get the intro of what Shane's going to talk about. But yeah, again, Shane St. Pierre, folks. Let me, I'll drop the link. I don't know if I did already. We're going to do it again. Oh, there's a link. I don't know if that was the last one or not. Here's, here we go. And I'll paste, let's see, is it the same? Nope, different. So that first one is not Shane's video. The bottom one is.
Stories, the things that
A little bit of music to start it off.
Construct these maps, and we're told than he is predicted. And where is your model? This presentation is dedicated to my good friend, Jaron Campanella, who a lot of people are upset with because he went to a location on Earth, saw something that is said to be only exclusive to a globe, and therefore only the globe can predict it. And he changed his opinion about the shape of where he lives, and a bunch of people are upset with it. I was also on board with arguing the same model and using the same rhetoric with how he was arguing it. And I didn't change sides, and I don't feel like I'm any more of a shill or liar than he is. He actually followed through with it. The reason that I didn't is because I went through a series of evidences and found that this model doesn't predict things in the way that you might think it does, right? It doesn't. We're given this nice construct, these maps, and we're told that they function a certain way based on certain parameters. So now we're going to get into how these maps were derived, how to use them, how to use this model, right? We're given this model, right? But we're arguing over conceptions here. So I'm going to get into the full history of the globular model and the dangers of arguing with through rhetoric.
Yeah, and that's where these guys excel. Same as Austin Whitsitt. I mean, disproving the globe, going out and taking measurements, that's easy. But going through the heliocentric model and how it was formed and, how it's transformed over the years and the little things that they find that they don't want anybody to know about, they all know about it, right? They say it amongst each other and at their little things, but how many people go and watch a physics lecture by some old physicist? There's not that many out there. Physics isn't, sports. It's not entertainment. It's not movies. There's only certain people that are seeking that type of knowledge. So they can say certain things, and most people don't hear about it because, the mainstream doesn't cover that part of it. They only cover about the parts that they say are matter of fact like. But when you have physicists, or astrophysicists, we should call them, saying that, oh yeah, all this is based on a philosophy that, it's too hard to imagine, and we would be too pompous, right? We have too much hubris to believe that we are the center of the universe. So on that whole premise alone, even though when we look up, it looks like we're the center of the universe, and we can't disprove that, but we're going to say that we're not and make up all these other things to make it so our model can work. They always leave that kind of stuff out. And that's where these guys go into all that and find all those golden nuggets of, well, we say it's a globe in the heliocentric model, but, they find out all of those buts and share them with you. So yeah, Shane St. Pierre, space audits. We're going to have a video up by him a little bit later. Just great channels, folks. Putting in the work. They're very passionate about this, and they're super, super bright and sharp. So yeah, Saint Jean Pierre. Oh my goodness, Hank's telling somebody all about it. And then down in the description of this video, you can find Ether Cosmology, where you can actually go and chat with Shane and Alan and a whole group of people that are quite sharp. And yeah, join in on the conversation down in the description below, the Ether Cosmology Discord server. Yeah, great conversations happening over there. So thank you so much, Shane. Here's one, Red Reaper. Got 32 videos out. Ice Wall into the Outer Lands. That was 3 months ago. Our Outer Lands story. The ice wall and the firmament. Is the ice wall and firmament real? That was 4 months ago. The Dark Lands Beyond the Ice Wall, Part 3. Yeah. Now, see, I was seeing a lot more. So 1 year ago, they started. And they put out haven't been active for about 3 months, and then explaining flat Earth. Now, they have the outer lands and stuff, but this is the first video they've put the words flat Earth into. So again, that's Red Reaper channel.
Land on the outside. Yeah. I think there's more land on the inside, in the North Pole. I think there's a continent in the North Pole, right? What cultures call the Garden of Eden, Hyperborea, Agartha, I think is at the North Pole. There's a lot of literature and research around this. There are even maps that were cartographed in the 1800s. And are we allowed here? There isn't a treaty not allowing people to go there, but it's difficult to go there. When we tried to go there, we couldn't get any pilots, we couldn't get any sailors who would even discuss going beyond 85 degrees latitude. Why is that? Because what happens is apparently all communications are lost. So when you get to a certain point, 85
And does
degrees,
this also sync with the round Earth?
With the round Earth, yeah.
So you also, these people just don't go there even though when the Earth is round?
Even if the Earth is round, no one has been to the 100th degree right on top.
No one's been.
Nope.
Now, they claim to have been, right? Way back in the day. I remember that. But yeah, having the conversation, folks. There's lots and lots of people just, and I don't know. Maybe having a lot of conviction in your beliefs and saying them matter-of-factly makes it easier for others to absorb the information. But I can't do that. I can't just say, matter of fact, I know that there's land beyond Antarctica and there's this. And I can't. I don't know. I have ideas. I don't mind sharing the ideas and stuff like that. But it mostly comes down to, I don't know. That's just the truth, but maybe it is easier to grasp when people have more conviction and they're not, because people don't want to hear I don't know. They would rather believe the lie that they were told that you proved is a lie, than leaving the conversation with I don't know. So I don't know. I like when people talk with the conviction and act like they know how everything works and the shape and all that kind of stuff. And at the same time, I feel that they don't actually know these things, that these are, beliefs, ideas. Like, disproving something doesn't mean that we know what the truth actually is. You can disprove 100 different things, ideas, and still not know what it actually is. So just keep that in mind when you're sharing this type of information. Some people may like the matter of fact more, and some people may like the truth and honesty of we don't know yet, to each their own. But thank you again, Red Reaper. Again, when they put the flat earth in the title, I'm probably going to see that. I don't know. There could be hundreds more, folks. So we're going to drop a comment down here. Just thanks for sharing. Ooh. Got to slow down a little bit on my typing. All right. Yeah, there was quite a few videos I found this week. This is Roberto Gagliardi Bible Study. Shocking Bible verses about the shape of the earth. Got around 2K subscribers. False religions exposed. Hebrew roots movement. The surprising truth about Jesus' compassion. Paul prays. So definitely not, the gospel that saves you. Now, see it. There is no flat earth in here. It might have been tagged, maybe. But I don't see any more things that have to do with the shape. Side Genesis, da 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 da. No. They put out a lot. All these within the last couple weeks. Wow. So I'm not seeing for Earth, for Heaven, Earth. Okay, so definitely not a flat Earth. It might be their first flat Earth video. They might have touched on the subject before. 3 days ago was the first day I saw it. Roberto Gagliardi Bible study. Again, like I said, we're seeing so many of these religious, the religious channels having these conversations now. It's exploding, the conversations that are being had.
Ninth Biblical Flat Earth Cosmology. King James Bible only, 1611, 1769, with additional supporting scriptures for each section. Section number 1. The earth is fixed on pillars, immobile, it doesn't move, founded on waters. Primary scriptures. Psalm 24, 1 and 2. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he has founded it upon the seas, and established upon the floods. 1 Samuel 2:8. He raises up the poor out of the dust, and lifts up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. Job 38:4 and 6. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare, if thou hast understanding. Who has laid the measures thereof, if thou know? Who has stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Who has laid the cornerstone thereof? Additional supporting verses. Psalm 104, verse 5. Who laid the foundations of the
Yeah,
earth?
he goes on just verse after verse after verse, all about flat Earth. So yeah, thank you, Roberto Gagliardi, for putting that video out there. I know it's not easy. Everybody's sharing it. It's wild. So sky ice, the dome. There's a firmament, and we live inside the dome. Question mark. Viral reels. So it looks like they just share all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of crashes, tornadoes, mayonnaise stuff. Just weird and wild videos. I'm seeing a lot of these. 3 years ago, 2 years ago. So they did one video 10 months ago. So not a super active channel at all. And then 7 days ago, May 23rd, shorts. It looks like this is what they've been doing mostly now. Prison Earth. Firmament. So this is the video that I saw right here. Not seeing a whole lot. Portal, banned card game. It's not banned. You can still buy it. World is changing. So I'm not seeing anything about flat Earth. So this may be their first flat Earth video. Again, it happened. I don't know. It doesn't have the date. So thank you, Viral Reels, for putting this out. We will drop the link in chat.
Because I've always had an interest in scientific things. I think that's even why I got selected to go to Antarctica, because a big part of the interview was about science and what I believed about things. So I really thought it was cool to see something I'd never heard of before. The whole time I was at McMurdo, I heard people talking about the wall, like that was a special place. It's pretty common to find ice walls and ice cliffs all over Antarctica. The whole place is ice, but it's all just normal white or clear ice. So I asked my friend where they get the sky ice from, and he said it comes from the wall. I don't remember exactly how he described it, but apparently there's a huge wall of sky ice in Antarctica. He said it was hundreds of miles inland from the coast. I never got to see it myself because I was only, skip forward, stationed to McMurdo. I didn't get to go out on expeditions. He said it was the biggest natural structure in the world. Imagine that. He said that in the 1960s, the U.S. Army had a plan to bore a tunnel into the wall, but they didn't have a boring machine that could handle the super cold temperatures. So they had a whole testing project in Greenland where they developed ice tunnels and invented new boring machines that could operate in super cold temperatures. So this was back when they were going into forming NASA and all the other things that were kind of strange, the Antarctic Treaty, around that time, pretty close to it. And he says, like they did this whole big thing in Greenland for just practice. So it's like they were practicing to bore into the sky ice. I'm not an expert on that, but that's just what he told me. Then once they had the new boring machine figured out, they brought it to the ice wall, or to the wall in Antarctica. He said that the machine bored a tunnel. I don't remember exactly, it was like 5 or 10 miles into the wall, but that they never broke through the other side of the wall.
You be the judge. Don't forget to follow and keep our content alive.
I think I remember that story from years back. And I believe it went that the boring hole dug into the wall, but now I don't know if this is this video. Let me see. Yeah, this is okay. So I don't know if they said that the boring machine got into the wall, but that behind it, the wall started closing up as it was going in. But I'm pretty sure I remember hearing a story similar to that. I don't know if it was that same person or not, but I've heard about them talking about the wall out there in Antarctica and how they can't actually bring pieces of the wall even like back to the base in Antarctica. While they're in the base, like they can get it to the base, but they can't keep it there. It just evaporates. It goes from solid straight to gas. Allegedly, right? I've heard these videos. Again, they're just, I don't know. I haven't been there to see it. So yeah, I don't know. Now, see, this is where another Shane St. Pierre video right here. Yeah, go over and subscribe to Shane and Space Audits, Alan's channel. This is a great video about how they derive gravity and how you can actually put anything to it the way that they measure it. They're not measuring any type of force or anything like that. They're just taking what happens and reverse engineering it and saying, well, the cause is this, but you can do it with anything. You can do it with the electric field. You can do it, with, I hate even saying it, but like a platform moving up will there's all kinds of ways to create a vector. There's all kinds of ways to do it. And this explains that, the difference between kinematic and dynamic. And like I said, these guys are so sharp. If you understand the more advanced stuff, I even used, yeah. So this is only 2 minutes long. We're going to go ahead and play this whole one. Yeah, they went way beyond the research I did, right? I am a tinkerer. I'm not the math the advanced math guy, like these guys are. I like to, you know, study with my hands. I like to play, for a lack of a better term. And these guys can really get into understanding, you know, all of this stuff, all of these little squiggly lines and whatnots, and they understand it. And I don't. I've never taken the time to. I've heard Walter Lewin say so many things, epsilon zero, you know, all kinds of stuff, and I still have no clue what they mean. I'm not really interested in that. I just kind of want to understand how it works. I don't care to explain it in a formula or anything like that. So here we go. Shane, thank you, man, for all that you're doing. Really appreciate it. Hank's going crazy.
Gravity. So to put it simply, in terms from a flat earther, no one is disputing that things fall down. Measurement of the rate at which they fall is an empirical measurement of kinematics. We all understand the difference between kinematics and dynamics, and measurements of kinematics are model independent, right? They don't prove either model. We would dispute the cause of gravity, or rather big G. If we were to break it down, little g is kinematics, big G is dynamics. We're only disputing the dynamics. We would dispute the cause of big G as mass attracting mass. We would replace that with an electrostatic downward bias, right? Where the charge of Earth produces the downward gradient, gives it the direction of down, and then buoyancy, density, and viscosity sort the rest of it out. Mathematically, if we were to describe the rate at which things fall, we could do so by calling it the acceleration downward, little a, and you could derive it just with the equation 2h over t squared, or 2 times the height at which an object is dropped over the time it takes to fall squared. And this is, of course, a simplified version of the equation with velocity at 0. So d equals v0t plus 1/2 at squared. And we can solve that with multiple examples to get 9.8 meters per second squared. Right, so in a real-world example, if an object is dropped from 10 meters and takes 1.43 seconds to fall, you can solve for a using the same equation. You could say a equals 2 times 10 over 1.43 squared, or a equals 20 over 2.0449, or 9.78 meters per second. And that's how you get the empirical kinematic measurement of the rate at which things fall. No mass attracting mass or Newtonian gravitation required.
Well said. Yeah, they get it. They get it. Yeah, just super smart guys, really. Just super smart guys. This is Granddad is an Old Man, 101K subscribers. Now, I've been seeing lots of videos from this person, and they've been doing the boats on the horizon and zooming in and seeing, they're doing their test, their vision test. Electric surfboard. Don't see flat earth in any of the stuff. Right? But for some reason, this popped up in my flat earth. Do they have hashtags maybe? I'm not sure. I've been seeing a lot of him as I'm searching flat earth stuff. Gives the location, all that kind of stuff. Gives the links that he uses, the vessel finder tracks. Flat earth, there it is. Sorry, folks. But yeah, out there doing the long distance, I love seeing stuff like that. They're way out there, and they zoom in. And he goes and he shows where the boat is at that time. Last report he just took.
Up there on the screen.
And then he goes and shows the distances and stuff. But yeah, big channel. Real big channel. And it might not be this one. Let's see what he has to say here at the end.
So thanks for watching. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment so I know how I'm doing. And somewhere up here there'll be some links to related playlists. Thanks again.
So it doesn't say anything about flat Earth, really. But has it down here. Granddad is an old man. Let's see if his lives have any. On the breakwater. Glasses, just sitting around. Good morning, guys. Nope, hasn't done a whole lot of live streams. 16 of them. Did the last one 2 years ago. 13,000 videos. Wow. Let's see here. We're gonna go oldest maybe. Yeah, those have a little bit more views. Well, no. I don't know why I have a hard time believing that there's 101,000 subscribers. Well, there's one of them. 216K views. 103K views. 186. Okay. So he's got some 275. He's got some videos that really take off. Okay, that makes a little more sense now. I was like, where's all his subscribers coming? But you'll see that a lot of times. There'll be people that subscribe because of one video and then never really watch the channel again. So yeah, now there's stuff that has absolute, like he didn't mention flat Earth in here. We all get what he's doing. He has flat Earth way down in the description, but yeah, you don't see I don't know. It's weird that I'm getting a lot of his stuff. Granddad is an old man. And none of the videos say flat Earth or anything like that. I'll give him a thumbs up. All right, Jesus Christ showed me the earth is flat. A testimonial by Kyle Beatty. The dark truth of following Jesus Christ. God wants you to cut them off. Started their channel, let's see, been very active 2 months ago. Have a lot of videos in the last 2 months. And yeah, he does some working out and stuff like that to start. Very spiritual channel. Not seeing anything about the shape of the earth at all in any of his videos down here. Okay, so yeah, their first flat earth video, it looked like 2 days ago. Kyle Beatty.
Jesus Christ showed me the earth is flat. From understanding the firmament and so much more. Before I talk about this a little bit more in detail, I'm good to be going downstairs to incorporate bodybuilding. I believe building the body, building the temple of God is truly embark on your walk with Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Stick around because I'm going to be going downstairs to warm up. Feel free to skip ahead to the message down below in the timestamps. That's why I put them there for you guys. And I'll see you after this workout. One is going to be understanding the firmament, God's creation. I've heard from Genesis 1:6-8 that says, "And God said, let there be a vault between the water to separate water from water. So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day." This verse describes God's creation of the firmament, a vast expanse that separates the waters above from the waters below. This is just like base level stuff for flat earth, because I'm still getting into it and still learning about it. But this is just like if you're curious and to plant that seed for you guys. And this is definitely something I've realized. I did some research. This YouTube channel, if you guys want to look it up, it's called The Vibe of Cosmos. Actually, John Zerka, I was watching some of the videos about flat earth, and actually was able to understand it a little bit better by watching some of the videos with him, educating and walking me along with it. And it was actually very helpful. But one of the videos on The Vibe of Cosmos was showing that there are waters above, as Genesis is talking about here. People that believe that the earth is round is literally just a whole attack on the Bible of Genesis. And it's really comes down to the enemy trying to be a copycat. Everything that Jesus does, the enemy has to do the same exact thing. He's a copycat. There's going to be a good one and there's going to be a bad. There's going to be truth and there's going to be lies. That's literally how it works. And this is just another example. I mean, it's kind of.
So yeah, thank you, Kyle Beatty. If you'd like to hear his testimony and everything, I dropped the link in the chat right there. Give him a thumbs up at least. Maybe drop a comment. And yeah, he looks like someone who is, trying to be healthy and follow scripture, possibly. And a lot of these people are, when they hear the earth is flat and then they look at the words in the Bible, it just makes sense. It really does. So I think scientism, not science, not using the scientific method and all that, but scientism. I would put the heliocentric model in that box, is the one world religion that is talked about in Revelations. I think that's what it is. You have all these other people, practicing their faith in all these different religions, but the one thing that a lot of them all have in common is the belief in heliocentrism. It's just, it is the one world religion, in my opinion. Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, go on over to Kyle's channel. Give him a thumbs up if that's your cup of tea, going down the religious aspect, and you like what he has to say. Subscribe and hang out with Kyle. Thank you, Kyle, for taking, having the courage to put this one out there. Really appreciate it, man. All right, this is Zip Zook. Now, I don't back on YouTube. Let's go. A lot of people are getting their YouTube channels back. So they put out their first video 3 days ago. They had their channel taken away, I believe, a few years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. It looks like they were, yeah, pointing out the stuff that was going on, started back in 2020 and all the stuff that was going on. A lot of people lost their channels talking about that stuff. Had a video 4 years ago, Flat Earth, total lunar eclipse over Bay Area, Flat Earth, Flat Earth, Flat Earth. Yeah, it looks like they put Flat Earth in a lot of titles. I don't remember. Wow, this channel did a lot of stuff. I don't remember this channel. That's crazy. Zupzook. 358 videos. Over 4,000 subscribers. Okay. So finally won my appeal. My YouTube channel is back on after nearly 3 years. And it gives out the email right here. Does not after taking another look, we can confirm that your channel does not violate our community guidelines. See, that's just crazy. When we looked before, it did, but now when we look, it doesn't. It goes on to say, I know many of you lost your YouTube channels during the COVID lockdown. Log back on to your lost YouTube channel and appeal. Good chance you can get your channel back on like me. Good luck. So there you go. Thank you for watching. God bless. If you have an old channel out there, you know, that you put a lot of work in, looking towards Kyle Adams and, you know, Taboo Conspiracy, people like that that had some really great channels with a lot of great videos just totally wiped from YouTube. They're still there, it looks like. So hopefully you can get all that hard work back. Because yeah, they were just slicing and dicing back then. Here is somebody, Flat Earth University, Journal of Geocentric Cosmology, Stephen Alonso. Let's see. Flat Earth, final experiment. How old does this channel go? 7 months, 10 months. So about a year ago, they started. Yeah, they got into the whole mechanics of a flat Earth with a South Pole star, eclipses. So yeah, this is definitely a flat Earth channel. This is I believe the first video I've seen of this person though. 5 months ago, 4 months, 2 months, 12 days. It's been a while, so he took a couple months off, it looks like. But he says that he started a flat Earth university. Let's see what, no description added. And he's selling his flat Earth science book on cosmology. It's on sale for $7.50. You can get the ebook, lots of pictures, colored pictures and whatnot. Have any of you guys heard about this? All right, Vern, take it easy, man. Yeah, I don't know why I've never heard of this person before. But we'll go ahead and let it play.
The globe's been debunked, but what do we do about how to learn flat earth science? Well, luckily, we got the flat earth science textbook, and the university's having a sale right now for only $7.50. You can get this as the ebook. That's all 173 pages, full color for you to have on your phone, your computer. You can search through it. You get all the benefits of a PDF ebook. That's 25% off the regular price. Get this right now. Check the link in the bio to read the 23 sample pages.
All right. Didn't know there was such a thing. The Flat Earth University. I'll have to check that out. There's going to be a Flat Earth meetup in Missouri, June 4th, 5 to 8 p.m. It will be at the Brew Top, 8614 North Boardwalk Avenue, Kansas City. I'm assuming that's Missouri. Yeah, Missouri we said earlier. Austin Armstrong. You can reach him at austinarmstrong93@gmail.com. At the Brew Top. Very cool. I hope you have a lot of people show up there, Austin. Good on you. Yeah, if you're having a meetup and you'd like to get the word out, get a hold of Mark Sargent. One of the easiest people to get a hold of. Always answers back. He's always on. It's crazy. The guy's a machine. Here's his phone number. You can just call him if you want. You can send packages or mail. You can contact him at through his email if you want. However you want to get a hold of him, like I called him back in November 30th of 2015. I just remember because it was the last day of November, and I was out on Michigan City, um, the lighthouse out there, looking at Chicago through a telescope. I didn't have my camera at that time, and I could count the windows on the Sears Tower. It was such a clear day, night. It was perfect. And I called Mark from there, being like, "Hey, man, you were right. This is crazy. I'm seeing like all the way down to the street lights right now." I was like, "Thank you, yada yada yada." And while I was at work the next day, he called me back and left a message. Just so cool. Mark's a great guy, um, and has done a lot to wake people up to this deception. So big shout out to Mark Sargent. Thanks, man. This was a pretty good one. Oh, I'd like to play this whole one, but we got to get going here pretty soon. I was hoping to be done about 10 minutes ago, but we're going to go to either check out a bridge or some state parks today. We're going to take Liz out and show her some of the countryside today. But Tommy Ray, this was a great one. He just rips into the globe and about so many different types of truth and whatnot. So we'll listen to a minute of it. In fact, here's the link, so you guys can go check this one out yourself. We'll just jump in somewhere in the middle here.
Life. I fucking saw it on TV, asshole. Oh, okay. Oh, how dare you? How fuck
Okay, yeah.
1,000 miles. Okay, whatever, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, okay. He's very colorful, we'll say. All right. He likes to use all of the English language in his videos. So definitely not for GLOBEBUSTERS, but I thought it was hilarious. Him just ripping on, "Oh, you saw it on TV. Okay." About, all the answers that are given when you start asking questions about the shape of the earth, the answers "Oh yeah, I saw this. Where'd you see that? Oh, on TV? Okay." But yeah, pretty funny, dude. Message to Flat Earthers by Tommy Ray. Not seeing anything else about Flat Earth. At least not yet. At least not in the titles and whatnot. Started 8 years ago, then took a 5-year hiatus 3 years ago, did a couple videos 2 years ago, did a few videos, and then 1 year ago, did one video. And then about 11 months ago, started putting stuff out every couple months there. And then from 5 months ago, it looks like he's been a little bit more active. 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 7 days ago. But this one is funny, folks. For adults, if your child is in the room, I wouldn't be playing this one. Not for their ears. But yeah, I got a kick out of this guy. He was just. You kind of reminded me of George Carlin almost. I'll have to say, just the stuff he was saying. So I will drop it in chat one more time if I didn't before. Thumbs up. Thanks for sharing, man. Much appreciated. All right. The Bible is scientifically accurate. Could Jesus see the whole world from a mountain? Matthew 4:8 reveals the Bible's flat earth theory. This is the ex-Christian India. Sorry. Bible jokes, do these, or are they poetic and misunderstood? Do that earth has foundations and is immovable. Language consistent with ancient beliefs, not scientific knowledge. Advise you to think critically about the Bible really says about the shape of the earth. Yeah, we're seeing so many of these now. Oh, My fingers are just going crazy this morning. All right, I'll send him one of those. So go check it out. Let me drop it in here. I don't know if I did. Yeah, I'm going to jump through some of these folks. No offense to the creators, these channel creators. The Ex-Christian India, go check them out. Yeah, it was a pretty good video. After show, Kyle Adams versus PhD Tony. Flat versus globe. Matters now. So people are covering it. I'm not sure if they're pro. This might be anti. Flat Earth. Let's see what kind of videos they put out. Max Matters Now. Debunking Flat Earth myth. The truth about ferrocells and magnets. That should be funny. So yeah, this might be anti-Flat Earth. Not sure. I just found this one this morning. But yeah, it's going over Kyle Adams, a GLOBEBUSTERS member, versus PhD Tony. Do they have the link to the actual? Yeah, here it is. Link to the actual debate. Kyle's getting better and better at debating. He really is. If you guys don't know Kyle Adams, go give him some more support. Right here. Great guy. Had a much bigger channel at one time. He's got to go check it out and see if he can't get his old channel back. The heliocentric deception, why the Earth is not what they told you. Romy Rome. Man, I want to play all of these for you guys. Put this one out just 20 hours ago. Jesus Saves. Like I said, folks, it's really getting through the religious circles now. It's really getting through it. 20 hour, the heliocentric deception. Does some fishing. Looks like he covers all kinds of stuff. Wireless energy tower. I don't know. Don't know about that. Not sure. I would have to go there and actually, we need to know what's under. And the fact that they won't let you dig, or they won't even dig down to see, it's just crazy to me. It's so silly. So he started his channel about 6 years ago, made a couple videos about farmhouse bars, building his own stuff, do it yourself. Love seeing stuff like this. Cooking recipes. Didn't start off as a truther. And then it looks like about a year ago, what's the truth? We are at war, inspired movement, time of the rapture, division church God. Looks like he started getting a little bit more religious. Not seeing anything about flat earth in here though. Pretty active on their channel. But yeah, it was a pretty good, from what I heard of it. Like I said, I found it this morning. I didn't have a whole lot of time. But he's just ripping apart the heliocentric model. All the spinning and this and that, and yeah. So I will drop this in the chat for y'all. Let's give the young man a thumbs up and a comment. Much appreciated. Seeing so many of these. So many of these. It's crazy. It's exploding, folks. It is exploding. I've never seen it like this before. Flat Earth. What was that movie? There can only be one. So let's see. Did I have it? I have quite a few. 3 videos 2 weeks ago. 10. So this is a fresh channel. And I think they're just talking about flat Earth. But yeah, he's talking about hitting the firmament. You know, there's a dome above Earth.
It's like a water. But you know, have
There's
you
water up here?
supposedly?
Okay.
So there's
So yeah, like I'm saying, these conversations are happening everywhere now. People are just, it's exploding, folks. And it's not like super obvious, right? It's not like some of the bigger channels that talk about flat Earth are starting to get millions of subscribers and stuff. This is organic. This is fighting against an algorithm that's trying to suppress it, and it's growing like wildfire right now. Right? Will we ever see flat Earth channels with millions and millions of subscribers? Probably not. Like I said, there's people I'm subscribed to that I don't get to see their videos. Like when I was checking this one out earlier, does it say exactly when he did it? This didn't pop up for me until this morning. So, yeah, everybody is being, censored tremendously. Yeah, I'm really gonna miss Kyle and Karen on the. If you guys haven't heard, I'm gonna be stepping away from a couple of the shows. I'm gonna keep doing the weekend update, but yeah, since Bob's passing, I'll go through it one more time. I see there's more people here now. It's been really hard to be as motivated. And I feel like I'm kind of bringing the channels down. I'm holding them down. I don't have that drive like I did at one time. Now, I may be back. It may come back, this or that, but I just don't want to be a burden to the other panel members. I just don't feel like I'm putting enough of myself into it. I'm having a hard time with that. But I'll be doing the weekend update. I'll always be in the chats and stuff, hanging out. But yeah, I'm going to be stepping away from the other 2 shows, the tech show and the main show on Sunday. Shane and Alan got this. They're amazing at what they're doing. And Kyle, Karen, and Cammy can definitely hold it down over there in the tech. But yeah, really going to miss Kyle and Karen just hanging out, on a Thursday night show. I had a lot of fun doing it. I don't have the drive, I don't know. Been in kind of a funky way. We'll get a little personal. My mom hasn't been doing the greatest lately. She's been somewhat under the weather, and she's older. And that's really been weighing on my soul. Just trying to prepare myself. Sorry. It hasn't been easy. And yeah, I'm just not all here. I'm not what I could be. And I don't want to be half-assing anything. So yeah, I love y'all, love the people I'm on the shows with. But I'm just gonna, just take a little bit of a step back. And yeah, I'll definitely be around. I'll still be around all the time. But yeah, this is one of those, we got to get Kyle more people looking at his stuff. We really do. The guy makes great videos. He's just one of the nicest people I've ever met. Yeah, I really love Kyle. He's very, very passionate. He has that fire that I want in him. I wish I had Kyle's fire in his drive. And yeah, I'm just gonna, take a step back for a little while, and focus on some other things. Yeah, I lost my mojo, Chillster. I'll get it back. Ebbs and flows, right? Ebbs and flows. So we are gonna end by playing Kyle's whole video for you. Okay? Yes. I mean, you can just hear it in his voice. Kyle is a great guy. So yeah, I dropped a link in the chat. And thank you all for being here and hanging out. I'll be back next weekend. If there's any videos that you would like to see shared next week, drop them down in the chat and I will pull them up for next week's show. I could definitely use help. I mean, I think I found around 35 or 36 last week. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's so many videos I want to share of like this one. Flat earthers that I know and are well, are known in the community. There's so many of those videos that I want to share with everybody. But we can't on the weekend show. There's too many new people coming out, right? There are too many new people coming out with their very first video about flat earth. And that's what I'm trying to focus with this weekend update. You can find people who will talk about all that other kind of stuff down in the description below. There's a list of a bunch of flat earth channels that put out content either daily or weekly or a couple times a week. They're crushing it right now. And there could be more and more channels that need to be added. Like I said, we're not all seeing the same videos. So please help me out. Drop some stuff, some links or just channels that you might think I should check out and shout out that you think should be bigger, stuff like that. Yeah, flat earthers are coming out in droves. It's crazy, Dr. Bass. It's just beyond 2016, beyond 2015, all that kind of stuff. This is a huge wave coming by right now. And we've all seen it before, right? Ebbs and flows. They come and they go. But this one is a really big ebb. This is like a rogue wave we're seeing. If I had to compare it to anything else, it's unlike anything I've seen. So here you go. This is, again, Kyle Adams. I'll drop it one more time in the chat for you all. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I hope you all are enjoying these weekend updates and seeing all the new people that are coming into the, this way of thinking. It's happening in so many different communities all over the place that I've never seen this many people waking up all at once. And it seems to be going nice and smooth. I'm not seeing a lot of anger out there. I'm seeing a lot of curiosity, and that's what we want to see. We don't want to see, people going through that anger phase all at the same time. Lots and lots of people. I don't think it'd be a good thing. So the way it's happening is perfectly smooth and nice and going exactly how it's supposed to. If I were, like in charge in doing it, like had control of people and whatnot and could tell, this person to wake up at this time and this and that, it's like going exactly how I would want it to go. It really is. It's just gaining more traction right now. So we'll see what next blunder, and a lot of people are saying that it's the Blue Origin that is starting this off. A lot of people came out and, you know, that was their that little kink that was like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? They're lying about this. You know, that people have seen other lies about a lot of different things over the last 5 years. You know, a veil has been lifted, and it's going to take time for the words of all these different truths to get around to everybody. But it's going great. Yeah, it's been amazing. So thank you all so much for hanging out. You guys have a great weekend. Remember, be good to each other. Don't lie to each other. Open your mind, because there's truth inside. Peace.
The audience has spoken. Now let's talk about Moonlight. First off, I'd like to welcome a new debate board member, Santosh Kumar, who has been really pleasant to talk to so far. I greatly look forward to getting to know him better. Going along with the mainstream, the book claims moonlight is reflected sunlight. Do you agree with the book? Why or why not?
When you take into account the relative distances of the sun and moon from the earth, being that the sun is much, much farther away from the earth and the moon is from the earth, and taking into account the celestial positions of the moon and the earth, it is fairly straightforward to conclude that the sun is illuminating the moon.
Distances? That's a new one for me. I can't say I've ever heard anyone claim that the distance of the sun and moon prove that the moon casts reflected sunlight.
As an example, I've seen the moon in a particular position and shape, then figure out where the sun is. Approximately these days, apps can be quite precise if I'm too lazy to do the math. Then I'll be like, okay, moon is here, sun is here, so yeah, I would expect the moon to be a crescent. Nothing too complicated, really. Then that illumination is going to make its way to Earth will be much lower in intensity by orders of magnitude, since it is being scattered and not directly reflected. So yeah, haven't seen or measured anything to contradict what mainstream science says.
That sounds like you're saying that you know that the moonlight is reflected light because it is dimmer. Do you agree that just because one light bulb might be dimmer than another light bulb, that doesn't automatically mean that that light bulb is just casting reflected light from the other one?
Yes, I agree.
Yay!
Moonlight doesn't appear to be coming from the sun because sometimes it points at the sun as its face rotates in a clockwise direction, but other times, the light is obviously coming from an entirely different direction than the sun.
In art, I've come to expect the light side of an object to face the light source, and the shadowy side of an object to face away from the light source. If the shadowy side was facing the light source, that wouldn't make any sense. Santosh, do you agree that if the moon is reflecting the sun's light, crescent moons should always point toward the sun?
From a perspective of a viewer on Earth, not necessarily.
I don't see how something like this could ever be possible if the moon was reflecting the light from the sun. Now let's move it. That does not look right to me.
Hey guys, Rob Skiba here. It's about 5 minutes to 5 p.m., January 18th. I am shooting a video of my shadow as it is being cast by the sun setting behind me. Now, today's one of those days where the moon is up at the same time as the sun. I want to point something out to you. There's the moon, and we're told that the moon reflects the light of the sun. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to angle my iPhone here to the direction of the shadow. Okay, so the shadow is perpendicular to the angle that my phone is right now. See, it's about a half moon, and so you would think if the moon is reflecting the light of the sun, then the source of the light that would cast that type of shadow should be directly across from it, somewhere up here. in this direction, right? Directly parallel to the light source. Should be right across from it, right? But it's not. The sun's way down here. So how is the sun way down here getting that angle of a shadow on the moon? Why isn't it doing the same thing to the moon that it's doing to me? Casting an appropriate shadow from the appropriate angle. Okay, now it's about 5:45 p.m. or so, about an hour later from the last video that I shot. See the moon going, see the sun going down in the west over there. And go this way and up, and there's the moon with the shadow angled this way. So you would think that if the moon is reflecting the light of the sun, that the sun should be shining this way. Problem is, the sun is now way down here. Look at the terminator line of the shadow. You would think the light should be coming directly across from it, but it's not. It's way down there. The angle is totally wrong for that shadow.
Could the moon actually be exactly as the scriptures say it is? Genesis 1:16. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Isaiah 13:10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. Ezekiel 32:7. And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light.
I like establishing goalposts. If the moon is reflected sunlight, what should we expect? When observations don't meet our expectations, is it enough to disprove the claim that moonlight is reflected sunlight? What is required to disprove that claim?
Spheres are well known to be very poor reflectors of light, yet the full moon is fully lit from edge to edge.
That's a good question. When do we ever see a highlight on the moon? Keep in mind, the book's example was using a mirror. These aren't quite mirrors, but it seems that the more mirror-like a ball is, the more we should expect to see that highlight.
If the moon were really a sphere, the shaded area should be seen.
I'm sorry to step on your toes, but I believe the same thing is going on with these mountains over here. Those distant mountains over there are not actually blue. They just look blue because of the atmosphere.
According to the official narrative, Earthshine is a dull glow which lights up the unlit part of the moon because the sun's light reflects off the Earth's surface and back onto the moon. Looking at the moon with a little attention and common sense seems clear that the official narrative is basically BS. It would be impossible for the light reflected from the Earth to reach the top part of the moon. The moon is self-illuminated.
I like that one a lot more. If the sun is causing the highlight on the moon to appear like that, it should be causing the same kind of highlight on the Earth if it were a globe. And the dark side of the Earth shouldn't be lighting up this end of the moon.
The moon has been proven by man to show a complete reflection of every continent on the Earth, all in one image, and not rocks on it. It's a lesser light yaw created for the night so we aren't in complete darkness. It also proves that the Earth, that the Bible says, is only the piece of land he later broke in pieces and separated when Nimrod was building that Tower of Babel with everyone to get to him above and war against him, is completely visible in one image we all can see. Therefore, we're not on a globe, or you wouldn't see every continent at one time. If we were a globe, that image would change and only show the continents visible on the side facing the moon. It's a complete lie. NASA in Hebrew means deceiver. The forked tongue over that globe's image is saying it's a lie, as that's what a forked tongue means too, deceiving. Everything has dual meanings for the secret societies that rule over and indoctrinate us in their Luciferian schools that mix truth with lies and lies growing over time. Yah said in the Bible not to listen to science so-called that contradict his word as their vain babblings of man. They're spoken to deceive, and those that start the lies know they're lying, and those that accept the lies blindly, foolishly, or naively as a child pass on those lies as if they're truth, and so on.
I've heard of the moon map theory before, but I've got a few problems with it. First, if the moon is reflecting an image of the Earth, then during a full moon, that would be saying the entire Earth is covered in light. That, and if the moon is reflecting an image of the Earth and the moon is moving around and the Earth is stationary, that image should be moving around too. Yeah, I can't get on the board with that one. But I love you anyway, though. Thank you. This message has been brought to you by the Flat Earth Institute of Science, powered by Miro. When your conspiracy boards start looking like that, it's time to get a Miro board. Totally free. Here is mine on this subject.